if I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
But which problem should we tackle first?
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know when you've made your decision.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would—
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe—
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities.
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Paimon wants to know too! The hunters were super—
No. All Marashose hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marashose hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the swordsmanship techniques required to fight the monsters. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages, and others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person.
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and the evil sorcerer the script mentions. Did they exist in—
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear, intent on One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that force to establish himself as king.
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for now?
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then... How about Casiodor, the Golden Hunter?
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. Where did you learn all this, Clarence?
From my master.
Huh. By master, you mean Miss...
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often bring Clorand over to play, but then...
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Casiodor's leadership... Yet, as Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marashose Phantom, originally an association made up of hunters, eventually came to be predominantly comprised of...
Ah, I see. That explains why most of the people in the script have forgotten the hunter.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering—
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect, investigative work—
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerer?
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the...
What about you, partner? What do you think? I mean, you're not wrong. But those characters are usually the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. We don't want a total party kill on the first day, right? With Clorand as the GM, I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Then it's settled. Let's go.
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn around and head out of the city.
Let's take a look around, like that guy said.
You there! Outsiders, halt!
Let's take a look around, like that guy said. Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles. Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead make it ob- I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only state your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the
Marachose hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean?
Sir, we were indeed in the city earlier, but our purpose was only to gather information on the monster. Your guards are still fighting the monsters as we speak. They could be seriously wounded and in grave need of support. You need all the help you can get.
The man regards you with doubt and concern. After a period of inner struggle, he lets out. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with. But if you insist on going, I won't stop you. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive. I wish you the best of luck.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock.
place he mentioned, right?
You see broken iron swords scattered all around you, and downed trees riddled with terrifying claw marks. All the signs point to one thing. A truly...
Be on your guard, everyone. The monsters might...
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal for them to devour.
A little help here!
Your battle round begins now.
Feeling lucky?
Now disappear!
Watch out!
The next battle round begins now.
Yoo-hoo! Let my name echo in song! Hiya!
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment before dissipating.
Ugh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marashose Hunter class came with all those preset skill points. Otherwise, we would have been in some real trouble.
I never knew the Fatometer even determines the amount of damage you inflict. If you get unlucky...
That's part of the fun. The uncertainty of fate is what gives these games.
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious lump. Wait, could it be?
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch.
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed portion appears to be made of wood. It was previously obscured by the large form of the monster. With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery, poking out of the ground like a shy flower bud.
Whoa, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, you successfully excavate the wooden chest from the ground. Even without opening it, you can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest that it must
Makes sense. We worked hard for this. Let's open it and we can share what's inside.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure more than us?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got hurt
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to dig it up, we could just take it from...
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact...
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marashose hunters. What if...
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with an explanation.
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food? Then we'll be ready.
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice. Well, it's getting late. Why don't we call it a day for now?
Wow! Where did the time go?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all, or because the story is particularly enticing, but...
Here, here. Ooh,
I'm...
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give me an earful if I get home too late.
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story.
huh? Another...
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the
Whoa, they really pulled out all the stops for this new script.
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Cloran finish her story, right? Paimon wants to hear more about the
Something tells me you just want to finish the free.
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, to Paimon, not finishing free food feels even worse than having to buy her own. And anyway, Paimon really does want to hear more about
Well,
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me.
What a heavy beginning for a life.
Master was a fascinating individual. If my first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to an—
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorand, but how old were you?
Probably around,
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous!
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Well,
No, I lost.
So, you're saying you actually...
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in—
that really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a Marechaussee hunter, but I never heard her bring up her own parents. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember? I don't think many members of the Spina ever beat you in one of those.
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that
Protector of justice. Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who was always active at night?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until...
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports about her on Nervalette's desk.
Ah,
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much. Especially when she deliberate.
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just two. The Protector of
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the two she'd use by the time she got back each night.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone
But
She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared? What?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, when she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callus's house to ask about her whereabouts.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but...
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of doing things, it all made a lot of sense. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain...
Were you upset?
I was at first, but not anymore. I don't believe Master would...
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine. You're
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But you're right.
Who knew Clorand had such an interesting past? I wonder... If Clorand's master were the champion duelist back then, would that duel against Mr. Callus have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorand and Navia are probably thinking something similar.
Well, anyway... Would you look at the time?
I had a great time today, Miss Clorand. Thank you for being...
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say, your childhood stories were... Hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the Geo-Bishop sometime. Maybe your master was onto
You could...
What does she mean, onto something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time. Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if I want to continue enjoying the story tomorrow.
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Just between the two of us, could you tell me what it was like?
It was nothing special, really. Geo-Bishops don't understand the concept of a pet. So...
And that...
yeah, it hurt. What, something you want to experience for yourself?
Oh, I'm...
Let's go meet up with the group! Paimon's really looking forward to today's story.
looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin, why don't we finish where we left off yesterday? There was an important decision to be made, yes? I'll pour everyone a cup of tea.
Is that really the most important part, though, Clorand? Paimon's more heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights. This is obviously...
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the scriptwriter has never paid a visit to the fortress of Meripede.
So the set is going to...
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorand's smile is starting to look kinda... scary?
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But first, we should really figure out if we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Clorand's master?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile. As long as we're helping people, it doesn't matter who we are.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you want some more tea?
Oh, Paimon's good. Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to you?
Oh, this is the short sword Clorand mentioned last night. I found it.
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all.
Well, I made sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you gave it to me. Of course I had to keep it safe. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking about all the potential ways for us to break out of prison. We could dig a tunnel, or try to bribe the guards.
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet, have we?
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be prepared. Just like how you should always have an umbrella on hand, even when it's sunny.
Alright, Paimon's made up her mind. Let's just give the treasure. Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison somehow, Paimon will be too upset to enjoy her snacks.
So, you've reached an agreement? All right then, we can continue with the story.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure on the ground as well.
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the capital with your bag of loot. The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere, but your spirits are surprisingly high. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the children. Thank you, kind soul. The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk away, her eyes never leaving your back until you move entirely out of sight. It appears you haven't made...
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up. We need to hurry up so we can...
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible guy. I'm sure he knows the people here far better than us.
Oh, good idea!
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on Please wait, distinguished guests. Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you.
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King who
Do you think this...
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king himself would be a...
I say we go for it. If something happens, we'll just turn the whole...
That's...
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards and agree to follow. They lead you all the way to the audience. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques, glass shelves, and silver candlesticks. The items appear quite ordinary in size and dimension, yet their presence somehow makes the emptiness of the hall feel even more surreal and ominous.
Wow, it's so...
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson throne before you. He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's egg set right at the very front. As you observe it, you see a complex pattern of light. They're here, Your Majesty. A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hands and bends down to whisper a few words. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up. His gaze shifts to fixate on...
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings. The man by his side, though. We should keep a...
The king remains still and says nothing. The esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. Unfortunately, His Majesty the King finds himself quite exhausted from work. So I've heard tell that your group, the Marechaussee Hunters, used your exceptional ability with the sword to repel. However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such a feat with my own eyes...
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to talk, right? So we'll just explain what happened. The golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees in a single swipe. It took a lot of effort to defeat them. Well, there was enough details, right?
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors. Since you were the ones who defeated the monsters, that must mean you are also in possession of the treasure they...
Well, we did take the
How did he know about the treasure?
Then I must ask that you return it at once.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward? Shouldn't the treasure be considered a part of...
Yes, that was indeed what I... Only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward. Taking the rightful weapon...
But that's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, that makes no sense! If it weren't for us, the treasure would still be buried underground somewhere!
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receiving permission. What, no answer? Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of
Well, what about the king? Is he just gonna let this guy talk for him the whole time?
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne. His posture is rigid and unmoving. He stares forward.
From the look of things, could the Prime Minister be the evil sorcerer? Or
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed in the hall.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn. Sensing the tense atmosphere in the room, they stand at the ready, each with a hand placed upon the hilt of their sword.
Well, there goes my plan to turn the whole place upside down, I guess.
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group of ill-intentioned imposters. Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have any...
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe start some kind of riot?
But if we try to fight the guards right now...
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear. If you're scared, Paimon, just hold my hand.
Aw, thanks, you guys.
You allow yourself to be led away, but it's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling and smell the stench of death and decay all over. Stay here and don't. The guards lock the cell door and leave without looking back.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes through the dark hall, but the only response you receive.
No! What should we do now?
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two hands, of course. I draw my weapon.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated before the guards locked you in the cell. The bag.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action. Moreover, the guards would have conducted a thorough search before throwing you in prison.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen?
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the...
Oh, well, there goes all our plan.
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well. This is where the script ends.
What? But that's a terrible ending!
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint. Or gives the...
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being in prison? Like, they'll only show us the way out once...
That is a possibility.
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess it's kind of how the Fortress of Meripede works if you're lucky.
Oh, before I forget, Navia, the short sword. I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era. If I remember correctly, that style was last in vogue several hundred...
Wait, Cloran said that sword used to belong to her master, right?
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything. I'd say the sword was most likely an heirloom passed down over time.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master. And you...
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old key, and a good amount of junk she probably just didn't want to take with her. I gave you the sword back then, because
Wait, when did this happen?
After the duel. Between Mr. Callis and myself.
Before that, Clorand would have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to face each other. We were both sad and conflicted. Whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder if Miss Petronia had never introduced us to each other at that picnic. Maybe part of the sadness I was feeling could have been avoided. Back then, it felt like I hadn't just lost a father.
No one can change the past. The most important thing is that you two found your way back to each other and can enjoy things like this.
Yep, you're right.
I'm sorry, you two.
Think nothing of it. No.
Huh? Oh, looks like the next part.
Perfect timing. The situation was really starting to get desperate. And not just because of the...
From Corinne's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how much time has passed. Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust. And suddenly, you hear footsteps outside.
Heads up, everyone. Someone's coming.
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice down. Squall and Fury!
Skyward! Scatter!
The wind rises. Search for it.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. I'm also a Marashose hunter.
Huh?
Shh! I've already sent away the other guards, but if we...
I understand, but how can we be sure we can trust you?
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to be executed before tomorrow's...
Executed?
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure. Could this entire thing have...
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, I have no way to prove infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a change. I could go on, but I think we can all agree that now is not the time for details.
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, these weapons alone won't be in... His faction is too powerful. The guards are all under his control, and he's even stationed a number of golems. To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault, the Marashose hunters of the past left behind a treasure with the power to defeat the sorcerer.
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be able to aid you in the final battle.
In that case, please stay safe.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead you there.
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and refrain from making any noise. I'll lead you out of here as quickly as possible. You now have the chance to restore the honor and legacy of the Marashose hunters. So please, get out there and reclaim what's ours. And be sure to exercise.
With the help of the guard, you successfully escape the dungeons. Your sense of despair and anxiety both seem to fade as you continue your quest.
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
Squall and Fury!
Off we go.
This should be the place marked on the map.
This bit of rock certainly looks
Well, I'd say an investigation's in order then. Plus, if all else fails, we can just blow it up.
Wow, you really meant that.
Before you lies a serene stretch of open water, its surface shimmering a brilliant shade of sapphire blue.
Well, guess this means...
Oh, what's the matter?
It's nothing. As you step into the cave, you find yourself in an eerily quiet space. Before you lies a narrow passageway that appears to trail off endlessly into the distance.
Carving waves! Wow, this must be where the treasure is hidden.
But this door is blocking our way in. Huh. It almost looks like it's been here for quite some time. I've got to hand it to the tabletop troupe. They really went all out with the props.
Huh. What have we got down here? A kind of mechanism connected to the door.
A pattern on a stone door. That's something Master mentioned.
Is something wrong?
After a long, difficult journey, you finally arrive at the location indicated by your map. Site of some sort, where treasure likely awaits. Your surroundings are exceedingly quiet and serene, as if the secret that slumbers here has never once been disturbed.
That description makes Paimon feel kinda bad for
We're doing this for the sake of the people, to free them from the evil sorcerer. I say it's time for this treasure to once again see the light of day.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The future of the kingdom depends on it. The next part of the story requires us to solve the puzzle, right? Let's start exploring the area.
Yes, that should be fine. Something feels off about all this.
Need a surfboard? I found something.
Found something here, too.
Same here. Off we go.
Let's ride!
Need a surfboard?
It worked.
Something just appeared.
By solving the puzzles, you prove yourselves worthy of inheriting. At the end of each puzzle, you're rewarded with
With?
a key.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
Huh? This is one of the Marechaussee Hunter keys that are passed down from generation to generation. It is said that 4 keys in total are required to form the final, complete key.
Huh?
You hear a few strange noises. Suddenly, all the torches in the ruin go out at once.
Huh? What's going on? Did we...
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone. Without the torches, the space is now completely dark, and you...
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right. Sorry.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps pierce through the darkness.
There's someone else here. Oh, this...
I've been discovered then.
Wait, that voice, it's...
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now covets the treasure for himself, and has come to stake his claim.
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Then I can... Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest of our abilities.
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real Marechaussee Hunter. But this isn't part of the script.
Retreat! That's not the Hunter way. If it's dark for us, then it's dark.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed until I tell you the torches have been relit. This battle will be in the dark.
You got it!
Well then. concluded. Time to testify.
I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
Your strike.
Is he still standing? Goodness, he sure has a lot of HP.
Is it over? Can we open our eyes?
The enemy is strong and relentless, but the battle is nearing its end. The torches have not been relit.
What about now?
Final strike. Ha!
Oh, well, did we get him? Glorian?
Warm fire flickers across the walls once more. Your vision is now clear. In an impressive display of courage, the four of you successfully defeat the uninvited guest. That look in his eyes. It's like he became an entirely different person as soon as I defeated him.
Huh? Mr. Florian? Oh, wait. We're supposed to be role-playing. I should stay in character. Speak your name, guard. Why did you lead us here just to betray us? Is this treasure really more important to you than bringing...
What kingdom? What peace? Those were nothing but lies! I, Florian, am a true Marechaussee hunter, descended from hunters of ages past.
So he's also using his real name. Or, wait, was that the name of his character from the very...
Then I'm even more confused. If you truly are a Marechaussee hunter, shouldn't you want to help us just like you said before?
What do you know? In this day and age, there's no glory to be had as a Marechaussee hunter.
What's that supposed to mean?
My skills were passed down to me by my father. We lived a life of obscurity in the remote wilderness. Still, he devoted everything he had to being a Marechaussee hunter. And what did he get in return? A life of poverty and pain. In a world that forgot the Marechaussee hunters were the ones who saved this city, were heroes. We deserved more recognition and respect than this.
Is he talking about how no one in the capital seems to remember the hunters and their legacy? I didn't expect the script to contain this.
So that's why you want to take the treasure for yourself? You feel like you're owed fame and wealth?
If you already knew where the treasure was located, why didn't you just come down?
Because I still needed the...
Only a true Marechaussee hunter is capable of passing through this final door. As someone who sought to hurt others for his own gain, Florian lost...
Okay, but what is this treasure anyway? We've got all the keys, right? So can we just go in and...
You're sure you want to go in?
We've been talking about it for so long. Of course we want...
And we've already defeated Florian, right? So he won't try to take it from us any...
pesky brats.
Watch yourself.
Then let's open the door together.
All right. Your choice of action is... Before you, the door to the treasure, sealed and You hear the shrill wail of the door hinge as it rotates for the first time after years of disuse. Almost like a sleeping giant letting out an extended yawn. You get the impression that the secrets buried behind this door might be just as heavy as the sound you just heard.
It's open! Come on, let's go in! Paimon wants to see what's inside!
Ooh, me too!
Ugh, uncovering hidden treasure is the most exciting part of adventuring. What do we have here? Uh-huh.
A stone tablet? And some shabby weapons?
You call this a treasure vault? Looks more like an abandoned warehouse.
Maybe the troop ran out of budget at the end?
They provided a super immersive experience at the beginning only to drop the ball at the most important part? They could have at least filled this place with cardboard mora or something.
Wait, I get it now. Paimon?
Huh?
This is it? The Marashose Hunter treasure is just stones.
Whoa, are you okay?
The Marashose hunter before you appears to suffer a serious mental breakdown. One of you seems to understand the significance of the treasure already. If the rest of you wish to follow suit, you may remain here in the meantime and explore your surroundings.
Walter.
What is the treasure supposed to be?
The names on the tablet.
The old and broken weapons.
So, how are you doing?
What just happened?
Do you remember how you got here? Or what happened to your body?
I remember now. I brought you here because I wanted to...
You mean these?
Huh? How did you...
I could tell something was off the moment I stepped into this cave, so I kept an eye out. I've already dismantled the...
So the strongest champion duelist in all of Fontaine saved the day once again. Guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I deserve some answers, don't you think? Tell me why you wanted to lure me here. Everything you said earlier sounded like the truth. Luckily, your monologue was dramatic enough.
I don't know. I just always felt like there was something in my heart that didn't belong to me. Something agitated and angry. Who knows? The feelings about my father and the other Marashose hunters are real. It just wasn't fair. I was angry, bitter that no one remembered them. I don't know when it started, but at some point, my anger came to completely consume me. At that point...
But if the treasure was all you cared about, why plant all those explosives? Wouldn't they just destroy the treasure and...
I can't remember. My head is a mess.
From your description, I suspect you were dealing with a devorator.
Devorator?
Oh, your master... your father, I mean, never talked about it? It was a kind of monster that was active several centuries ago.
No, I've heard of it. I'm just not sure why you suddenly... Wait, it can't be.
The seal?
My family has served as Marashose hunters for many generations. But the title and swordsmanship weren't the only things passed down. My father instructed me to always watch over that seal and maintain it regularly. He said it had been passed down over a truly ancient age, and protecting it was our clan's most important. But I neglected that duty after he died. I finally decided to come down and check on it one day, and
The Devorator would be a formidable adversary for any mortal being. If you lacked the power to completely destroy it, you could easily fall prey to its influence and corruption. In light of this, some Marashose hunters chose to seal the Devorator away.
I heard it has the power to amplify the obsessions and desires in people's hearts, to the point where they overtake you entirely.
And yet, you were able to retrieve 3 of the 4 keys. If I remember correctly, each was entrusted to a respected and capable hunter. How did you manage it?
One of them belonged to my father. The second I stole from a different hunter. And the third was one that I snatched while the person... I know just how strong you are. It's as clear as day to everyone in Fontaine. I observed you from dusk to dawn, but could never find any opportunity to sneak up on you. I never even saw you drink a single glass of liquor. The only way I could think to obtain that last key was to lure you here using your hobby, and then... Oh, I get it now. That...
I won't comment on anything else, but the script was good.
Well, I did pour my heart and soul into it. The stories my father used to tell me about the glory of the heroic Marechaussee hunters and how they came to be...
It's more than just a story.
Huh?
You're proud to be a hunter. You're still holding on to...
I have done so many despicable things.
Then explain the purpose of the evil sorcerer in your story. Isn't he the true antagonist? The one who sought nothing but his own gain, and used the people as pawns to attain it? In your heart of hearts, he was the one you truly wanted to defeat.
But I've already tainted my sword. I no longer...
Wake up, Florian. Remember how you introduced yourself earlier. Do you really think the hunters acted out of a desire for honor and glory? Or to be loved and acknowledged by the people? What did your father teach you about our order? You do not wield your sword for yourself, but to protect those you serve. There's nothing special about a do you still not understand? Even after seeing the treasure for yourself? The contents of that room.
You're right. I am a Marechaussee hunter. It's time for me to redeem...
I wouldn't be so quick to push aside.
I know. That's a
Good. Then, come with me, and help me see the script through to the end.
Huh? See the script through to the end?
Never finished.
No, I mean, I wrote the script with the sole purpose of luring you all here. There was no reason to...
Then we'll just have to keep writing it. The evil sorcerer still needs to be defeated.
You mean the Devorator?
Is that really so hard? You've already written most of it. Surely you can write an ending where the hunters win and justice prevails.
You aren't afraid your party will fall into danger?
I know what my friends are capable of, and they're all—
Then, are you going to tell them the truth about all this?
I don't intend to spoil the fun. Sometimes, protecting dreams and Into the shadows.
They're back!
That took a while.
Ahem! My fellow Marechaussee hunters, please forgive me, for I have sinned.
Tone it down.
Sorry. After crossing swords with you and witnessing your courage in battle, I've rediscovered my true self and regained my pride as a Marechaussee hunter.
Oh, do I smell a redemption arc?
I confess, I was brainwashed by the evil sorcerer. He asked me to lure you here so he could bury you in this cave.
That little... Wait, you're saying all of that wasn't you, but the...
That's right. He's adept at manipulating the hearts and minds of the people. I fell under his influence because I did not possess a strong enough sense of will.
Huh. And how are you going to prove that you're a change...
To be perfectly honest, I only came to my senses after seeing the treasure. The treasure was actually...
The names of all the Marechaussee hunters from ages past and their weapons?
Wait, you already know?
Of course. Don't underestimate a veteran role player's exploration skills. Oh, wait.
We just finished reading through the content of the stone tablet.
That tablet recorded the lives of some fascinating people. For example, this Marsh, she inherited the responsibilities of the Golden Hunter and passed judgment on many people. But in private, she had a very easygoing personality. Her favorite pastime was singing and dancing with her friends, and she was said to have a...
So, she was just like you.
Oh, you really think so?
Well, when you put it that way, I suppose I also... Working as an executioner, he supposedly used a countless number of tricks to confound his enemies in battle. Oh, if only I could have seen the feats of magic he pulled off back then.
Their lives were all so exciting. You could write so many cool books about their accomplishments. How could they have...
Because they chose to be. To hunt monsters that only appear in the shadows, you must also operate in the dark. To be a Marechaussee hunter is to willingly give up on wealth and fame.
Then this stone tablet must have been left behind by their companions.
That's right. Few Marechaussee hunters ever revealed their identity to the public. They always protected the city from the shadows. The only time they spoke of their accomplishments would be at night, when they gathered with their fellow hunters in front of the bonfire to share stories of the monsters slain by their hand.
So, this tablet was created not so that the hunters would be remembered by the people.
No wonder this place was so well hidden.
You regard the stone tablet in solemn silence. The names of your comrades etched onto its surface serve as a reminder that you are never truly alone. The tablet proves that, although a hunter walks a shrouded path, it is not a solitary one. Their legacies shall continue to be passed down from generation to generation, as everlasting as the stone onto which their names are carved.
Father, you once told me that I should seek out the treasure if I ever became Thank you, my friend. You are very I implore you, everyone, please give me a chance to make up for all I've done. Allow me to fight alongside you and defeat the evil sorcerer that threatens the peace and prosperity of everyone in this kingdom.
Well, I say we let you join.
Sounds good to me too. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is...
I have no objections, but... Mr. Florian, do you even...
When he took over my mind, I gained some insight into his thoughts. Every time...
Huh? He's afraid of the treasure? But there's nothing here except some broken weapon.
What if the secret's hidden in a GM? Permission to invest.
At first glance, the weapons appear absolutely ordinary. But as you observe them, you notice a faint... These blades have slain countless monsters. Though it's been a long time since they were used in battle, their edges remain sharp, as if they're simply waiting for the next worthy hunter to carry on their legacy.
So basically, take these with us, right?
I'll take this weapon. I'll take this weapon, since it used to belong to Est. Maybe it'll find comfort in being held by someone who appreciates the arts.
Ah, good idea. I'll take Mr. Walter's bow then. From one archer-magician to another.
Paimon's gonna pick a cool weapon too!
As you grip your weapons, you can almost feel the will of past hunters coursing through your being. It's a feeling of courage, determination. A silent vow passed down from generation to generation.
Mr. Florian, do you know where to find the evil sorcerer?
I was able to see his surroundings when our minds were connected. I believe he's currently hiding out at the church in the kingdom. We must be extremely careful. He's spent so long living among monsters that he's now taken the form of one. He will not be easily defeated.
Then why don't we explore some more and try to find some higher level gear? We don't want to just fight him and lose, right?
Oh, no, we have to strike now. He was greatly weakened when I managed to break out of his control.
I agree with Mr. Florian. We've got to act while we have the advantage. Don't forget.
Yeah, now that we've got a plan, there's no point in waiting. The longer this drags on, the worse it will be for everybody.
Yes, that's what's called... Yes, that's exactly right.
Alright, you've persuaded Paimon.
Mr. Florian, please, lead the way.
Of course. Follow me.
He had to set up so many scenes today, and now he has to join in for this last part.
Finally, you decide to slip. As you walk away, you feel the gaze of the stone tablet at your back, as if all the hunters of the past are...
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive experience. Anyway, allow me to give you a brief... Pleasure to meet you all.
Wait, are you a champion?
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by...
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive... Anyway, allow me to... This script was adapted from the real history of the Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marashose hunters were people who dedicated themselves. Their story can be traced back to the ancient Remurian dynasty, as well as the first hunter, Cassiodor. But I'll leave the fun...
Behold!
Carving way!
Finally, you arrive at the church Florian described. As you approach, an ominous aura surrounds you. You get the sense that your enemy is close at hand.
How strange. This uneasy feeling seems so real. How did the...
Now, It is time for the final battle.
Let's go!
Florian, wait.
What's wrong?
I think you should wait outside. You've already been corrupted by the Devorator once. It could easily re-enter your mind. I don't think it's a good idea for you to be this close. If it corrupts you again, it's possible you might take on a new form entirely.
That's exactly why I have to go. Why I should be at the...
You mean...
Yes. I intend to lure it into my body.
That's too risky. If things get out of hand, I might have to kill you. Do you understand how dangerous this is?
I understand, but if I do this, you'll have a clear and visible target. The Devorator will have a hard time passing up a chance to enter a body it knows how to control. You won't have to worry about any of your friends being taken over. You're not like me, Miss Clorand. You're a just and powerful Marechaussee hunter. The monster broke free due to my error. It's only right that I shoulder the responsibility for its destruction. This is... something that I have to do. Consider it a duel to restore my honor. My only request is that you give it your all.
I understand. Then, as a champion duelist, I hereby accept your request for a duel, and extend to you my most sincere regards. The battle is now upon us. Let the Devorator once again tremble under the blade of the Marechaussee hunters.
Off we go. Huh?
So lifelike.
This foe is not invincible. You hold the treasure. The power to defeat it in your own 2 hands.
The treasure? You mean...
The names! It's the Marshose Hunters' names!
How are we supposed to...
You forget, Paimon? There's still one skill we saved until the very end.
Hunters fight not for fame, but to aid the people whenever they are summoned.
Walter the Marashose Hunter, master of 1,000 tricks, executioner of the Phantom Hunters, I call for aid!
Est, the Marshose Hunter, inheritor of Cassiodor's will, judge of the Shadow Hunters. Answer my call!
Petronia, protector of justice and order. The hunter I respect the most. Thank you for saving my friend, the best one I'll ever know. Please, lend us your strength!
We have come to answer your summons. And so, the monsters were eradicated, and the sorcerer was defeated. Peace soon returned to the capital. Those in the court, manipulated by the sorcerer, some remembered the names of the heroes who saved their kingdom, but others simply continued their lives none the wiser. Such is the story of the Marechaussee Hunters. They pursue the phantoms in the darkness and exterminate all who pose a threat. Such is the story of the Marechaussee Hunters. They pursue the phantoms in the darkness. They will always protect the city and those within it, even should all memory of their accomplishments be for—
I am assuming
Yes, you've reached one of the better endings.
it's a pretty solid story overall. I thought it was just an ordinary adventure at first, but the further we got into it, the more impressed I became with the production. That final battle especially. All the effects.
Oh, right. Yeah, totally.
That's a really good point. I never expected the weapons we picked up from that vault would have that kind of effect.
Yeah, mine nearly scared the daylights out of me when it started glowing. I took a good look at it after we got out, but I don't think it ever lit up again. Oh, we should probably give these props back, right? I'll just leave my—
Did you have a good time?
Of course! Let me know if another script like this comes around.
Sure, no problem.
Then I'll head back for now. I think I need some time to fully digest. Once Mr. Florian is awake, please pass on my regards to him. He must be extremely exhausted.
You're right. He's had a lot to deal with.
Well, see you all some other time. Toodaloo!
Okay, so
I think it should be fine, yeah.
what in the world was going on back?
So,
That time in the cave when you told us to close our eyes, it'd be weirder if we did.
I was dying of curiosity the entire time. I mean, you did a pretty bang-up job of pretending nothing had gone wrong.
Guess none of us wanted to be the one to break the illusion.
What are you all talking about?
Oh, wait. Don't tell me Paimon never... Oh, this is all my fault. It's not too late to cover your ears. Here, Paimon, I'll do it for you.
Bit late for that.
You're saying everything that happened back there wasn't—
it's probably more accurate to say this was never a real scripted—
What?
So loud.
Hey, you! Get up right now and explain yourself!
No shaking, please!
Did Paimon just hear that right? You guys made up? It's not nice to lie to people, but Paimon's gotta admit, that was a really good
Yeah, it was like watching a magician improvise a spectacular magic trick after.
If Paimon knew something was wrong with that vault, she would have floated straight in the opposite direction.
Everything was under control.
As if you've ever described a situation as being out of control. I'm pretty sure any situation you can—
Guess I'm just used to it.
You must run into a lot of unexpected situations then. That explains why you're so good.
As for you, Flor—
I know there's no excuse for what I did. I'll turn myself into—
I would say you've already suffered more than enough.
What?
You may have been blinded by fame and fortune in the beginning, but your actions during the final battle had proven you to be a true— You'll be far more used to the city above ground than below. Your job as a hunter is more important.
But
Of course, you'll still need to take the keys and pay a personal visit to the 2 hunters you wronged. Prepare to accept any terms they give you as well.
yes.
As far as I'm concerned, though, your showing in the duel was enough to prove your honor.
Then I'll do exactly as you said. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll do my best to prove myself worthy of the second chance you've given me. I swear this on my name until we meet again.
Speaking of Marashose hunters, what should we do about the treasure in that?
Leave it be.
Are you sure? We could show it to people, make it so...
No. Every name on that. I am no exception. My identity as a Marashose hunter is not.
That's certainly very different from the path of a magician. Still, I admire.
Wait! Paimon just remembered something. If there were no special effects involved, why did our weapons begin to glow during the...
That's because the Marashose hunters of ages past would often imbue their weapons with special enchantments to suppress the monsters.
Oh, so that's why they had an effect on that guy near the end. I really thought the summons were doing all the work.
Well, I'm sure the summons were a part of it too.
Oh? How so?
This particular Devorator probably hailed from the same era as the hunters we saw in the room. The names you recited all belonged to the bravest hunters. Countless monsters fell to their blades. That's likely why the Devorator visibly reacted when you said them out loud.
So the names held the power all along!
Navia. Everything you said.
Huh? Oh, I meant what I said. I mean, it was true to my character, so yeah, I'm glad you heard it. Just don't make me repeat myself.
I really appreciated those words.
All right. Don't get all... anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm going to...
She ran off!
I should probably head back as well. This story was truly incredible. I might have to spend the whole night telling my... Goodbye.
Traveler. Should your name and deeds be forgotten, what do you think the significance of your journey?
I suppose the significance would be the journey itself and the world we helped create. There's still value in the time I shared with everyone here, in the things we were able to accomplish, even if no one remembers them.
A great answer. I'll remember it. Me, the Marashose hunter, says nothing in response to that question. Perhaps her answer lies in her silence. An unspoken vow left to echo through the night. The path she walks needs no explanation.
Ever tried chasing waves before? You wanna try? Well, come on, no time like the present. I'll help you find the closest beach.
Oh, wait. Don't tell me you never... Ugh, this is all my fault. It's not too late to cover your ears. Here, partner. I'll do it for you. Oh, wait. Don't tell me Paimon never... No, this is all my fault. It's not too late to cover your ears. Here, Paimon. I'll do it for you.